Jewelry brand owners, if you feel you cannot get as many customers as you want, it is a market saturation problem, but not exactly how you think it is. There are different layers of a market. I'm just going to go through three, but there are 5 different layers of a market. One is the unaware. These are people, strangers on Facebook on this case, that they don't have any problem, they don't have any desire of buying your jewelry, they don't have a problem that they need to fix with your jewelry, and they definitely are not people who, if you put a ad that says 50% off this jewelry item just for today, these are not people who are going to buy. These are unaware people. They have no idea that you exist, your jewelry exists, even they have a problem or they have a desire. They're just completely unaware, completely cold. The second layer, remember there are 5 layers, but in this video, I'm just going to talk about 3. So the second layer is problem aware. So they are a little bit closer to become customers. These are people who are a little bit closer to become customers. These are people who have already the desire of buying jewelry or the problem of getting someone a gift or getting someone an engagement ring or getting someone a celebrate. Like there's some problem that needs to be solved, and that is where your jewelry item can actually come in and solve the problem. The third layer of a market is a solution aware. This is a segment of the market that is much smaller than the unaware and the problem aware. The solution aware people already have a problem and they already know that they want a jewelry piece. They don't know that they want a jewelry piece from you, but they already know that they need a jewelry item. These people are much warmer people, which just means they are more likely to purchase from you. The problem with this segment of the market is that they are very small. It's a very small portion of the market. Indeed, there is a market saturation problem in your jewelry market because you can get as many customers as you want, but it is not really how you think. So these different markets represent everyone that all of the jewelry brands, either in your market or international, are advertising to. So for example, this portion of the market are e-commerce brands. This portion of the market are local brick and mortar stores, jewelry brands, right? Goldsmith shops, stone setters, jewelers. And then here there are other portions. Here there are big chains, right? So there are enormous parts of these markets that are saturated. And yes, of course, you're going to have a lot of competition. However, market saturation is just in the space of advertising. It's not really in the space of products. So, for example, if you want to be able to have more customers, then this is more what your advertising has to occupy in the marketing space. These black boxes are all of your competitors, quote unquote, and this has to be you, right? So this orange part is just you, right? That's it. This orange part is just you. You have to market like if you were a plague, just invading the entire marketing space. That is what market saturation is. This is what I mean by market saturation. You have to place so many ads that it saturates the market just with your jewelry. Forget about all of your competitors. They will leave. They will lose. If you just run more ads to different segments of the market. And this is what I call the saturation system. It works like this. If you have a winning ad or a winning content piece, what we want to do is these are the different segments of the market. And what we want to do is saturate their feed with your advertisements. This can be done through different platforms, mainly Google, TikTok, maybe, especially TikTok Shop. But the real king of advertising for your jewelry brand is going to be Facebook for now and for a long time. If that changes, we will pivot. But for now, Facebook is king. It allows you to advertise not only on feeds, but also on sponsor tabs, as well as stories. It lets you advertise through Instagram. It lets you advertise to Messenger. Like there are so many different ways that you are able to saturate your market. It's frankly a joke at this point. And the reason vast majority of jewelry brands do not advertise more is because one, they actually don't know how to do it. They don't know what to click, basically. They don't know if they have the skill to be able to put money into Facebook, into advertising, and that money not only will come back, but more of that money will come back, right? Like an investment. You put money in, you get more back. They don't know if they have the skill. So that's the vast majority of jewelry brands. The second part of the jewelry brands is jewelry brands that are already spending on Facebook, but they are getting capped. When a jewelry brand gets capped in spending, it is 100% only because one, they are not advertising to problem aware. Two, they are not advertising to unaware. You're probably only advertising to people who are solution aware or even product aware, which is just a deeper segment of the market and a smaller segment of the market. So you could get to $100,000 a month in revenue easily just advertising to solution aware and product aware. But Facebook will soon start to show those same ads that you're showing to the solution aware and to the product aware, to the problem aware, to the unaware. And those ads are just not going to convert the same way. That is the reason why we need an enormous amount of creative, right, for different segments of the market. And if you're a jewelry brand that doesn't have as many customers as you want, you probably are thinking to yourself, well, why can I not grow with referrals, which just means getting more out of the customers that you already have. The other way that you can get more of the customers that you already have is just selling more products to them, all right? You probably are thinking that you could do that. You're probably thinking that you can scale your advertising and get more customers through Google. However, I have found that Facebook ads for over 3 years now for jewelry brands. I've seen that Facebook is faster than organic content to get customers, is more reliable than referrals to get customers, and it's cheaper than Google to get customers. And it's also more reliable than Google to get customers. Google has several problems when it comes to advertising. So the only benefit of advertising on Google is practically just being on the top of the search bar. That's it, right? So someone searches in your local area your product or the keywords that you are competing for. And the only benefit of Google, it's if you appear on the -- tab. You're the #1 website that appears on Google. That's the only benefit of Google. But most of the time, you don't appear on the first tab of Google. You're not the first website when it comes to Google. Normally, you're actually in the sponsor tab that's like 8 websites underneath, or you're competing for that first place with 4 others that are right there. So then it just becomes really market saturated, and you're not the one saturating the market. What you need to be able to scale your jewelry brand past getting stuck past 100,000 plus a couple of 100,000 is you need to be able to be the one saturating the market with your advertising. That's the only way that you can scale. You saturate the market with your advertising by advertising more creative to different segments of that market, like I just talked about. That's the only way. So if you're a jewelry brand owner and you don't have enough customers as you want to be able to grow your jewelry brand and be able to increase your prices, then click the link in the description of this video, and within 3 months, I will show you exactly how to scale past your point of getting stuck, or you don't pay me ever again, and I work with you until you actually scale past that sticking point.